Oh, what? I'm late. Oh, crap. I got my whiteboard. This newfangled tech. I can't figure it out. Oh, man. Welcome to the Superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be talking about I really like every other day. I just didn't have a topic to talk about, but I was kind of thinking about as how technology changes and stuff like that. And then there's that new Apple, what is it, Apple Vision Pro that's out now. And it's like, I'm too old for this stuff. That's why I got down over here and got the old Luddite Graham. I never really get into tech too much because it's like, I don't want to buy it. It's just too cheap. But, life gets more complex, it seems, the older you get. Not that I'm making it get any complicated. It just happens and you have to adapt. And so I was thinking about, well, that's a very common thing. And I've talked about it before on the show about for pilots and handling new technology that pops into the cockpit. But there's more than just that. So I'm going to start off a little bit about, I'm talking a bit about pilot changes stuff. And if you stick around a little bit later, I'm going to be talking about my phone. Got my phone. Going to be doing more live stuff, and I'm going to be talking about, because just for this is a clickbait experiment too. I was watching this video the other day, and they say if you mention like cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or stuff like that, apparently the algorithm picks it up and you get more views. So crypto. We're going to do that a little bit later at the end. I'll tell you what I know. Okay, so here we go. The changes first. Airplane. We'll stick to the airplanes first. Okay. I'm thinking about the changes that could be all piloty. So piloty changes. So over time, regulations will change. And so that's kind of what I was thinking with that Apple Vision Pro. I saw someone, there was on my Twitter feed popped up, and there's some guy flying along with that on. And of course, everyone's like, you can't do that. But I'm sure he was just pretending to fly, and the actual pilot in command was sitting in the other seat like this with the camera flying along. So, I mean, that's legal. But yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later about the whole Apple Vision Pro stuff. And so I can almost guarantee you that at some point there will be a regulation about the Apple stuff. Because, I mean, Apple actually is used on iPads and pretty much all the jets around the world. They got their iPad there, and that's how they don't get lost. So that's why I called this show Learn or Get Lost. So there we go. You're going to get your old Apple weirdo glasses and go fly around one day, maybe. Who knows? I'll talk about that a bit more. The other thing that can change as you get a little bit older, and I've seen it, and I've seen really older pilots struggle with it, like guys in their 90s that haven't flown in 40 years. They're lost. So the the radio lingo. I remember when I first started learning how to fly, the air traffic controllers would say, what would they say? They would say taxi to position and hold, which means you're waiting to go take off. They want you to go line up on the runway, get ready to take off, but don't take off. So they would say taxi to position and hold. And that was confusing because they had hold there, which is also used. They could say hold short of runway 22 or something. So what? Hold what? So that they changed that to line up and wait. So little regulation things like that. They used to say when I was leaving the control zone here, they would say, oh, there's another thing that they'll say is radar service is terminated. They never used to say that. They'd say switch to online frequency, or they'd say something different. It changes a little bit, the radio lingo. Actually, let's put that. I'll be more specific here. The radio lingo, that can change over the years. And the other thing that's oh, hey, Rich. And so all your navigation stuff, and you notice that in cars too. All your navigation stuff, you better learn, or you're gonna get lost, or you keep a map lying around until they stop printing them. That can happen too, and that's kind of coming down the road, there's not going to be printed maps anymore. It's not anytime soon, I don't think, but the trend is definitely going that way. And as you know, I don't know, kids these days, they don't even know what a map is. So you're teaching them how to fly and stuff. They're like, what's this paper stuff? I got it on my phone. I just I tell Alexa to, I tell the GPS where I'm going, and it tells me to turn right and left. And what, I can't do that in a plane? So yeah, so the changes that come up there with all your navigation stuff. So that would be you're getting your radios updated, and so you're like, well, I could get the integrated radio GPS combo thing. Yeah, I'll get that. But now you're dealing with a GPS that maybe you didn't have before, or a different type of GPS that you're not too familiar with. So that's all a matter of, yeah, you got to learn a bit more. And so now, good old Luddite Graham here, because I'm a pretty low tech kind of guy, and like I only had like a smartphone, I don't know, a few years ago maybe, and I just throw it in the car when I take a trip, just in case I got to call some, I don't know, tell the old lady it's like, yeah, I'll be home in an hour, see you soon. That's about it. Or if you break down, I don't know, call a tow truck or something. But yeah, so everybody, they live on these little devices here, and I kind of don't. And so I'm going to have to do a whole lot of learning how to use that thing in very short order, because, okay, I'm kind of done with all the piloty stuff. And now I'm going to get to the clickbaity. What I heard was you can get like lots of views if the algorithm picks up you're saying cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and stuff like that. So it turns out that I'm going to be going on vacation in another few weeks, and I'll probably be doing a show from there to El Salvador, and it's apparently quite safe now, and someplace a little different than going down south to Florida or some resort, or Arizona, New Mexico. And it can still get kind of cold in Arizona around this time of year, I think, depending on your elevation. But so it's like I was looking at, okay, how do you survive in El Salvador, right? Like, okay, so you're looking around. Apparently down there, they got rid of their currency a while back, because it kind of suffered the same fate of, like, have you ever seen those like Zimbabwe $10 trillion bills and stuff? And now they're worth nothing. So they just use the US dollar, and pretty much anywhere in the world they use the US dollar. So, okay, no problem. I'm right on the border with the United States here, so we're pretty used to mixing and matching the US dollar too. So that's okay. I understand that. And so there's that. And then it's like, if you want to talk to like taxis and stuff, it's like, oh, I got to get this newfangled Uber app. So, okay, apparently if you go to the capital there, Uber is a good way to get around. Okay, how do I do this Uber thing? I put that app on my phone, then the other app, and then the other app. Uber and WhatsApp, I guess they use WhatsApp down there. Never really heard of it or used it or anything like that. I'm actually kind of with the girlfriend. They were like, how do we do this thing? I'll call you on WhatsApp. It's like, hey, this Uber thing, you can, oh, that's how you order Uber Eats. I never knew that. So that's how out of touch I am with technology. But I figure I'll just like jump into the deep end of the pool and go down to El Salvador and start living on the phone and all that other fun stuff. And but it's the other thing down there is that they have Bitcoin as legal tender. So it's there you go. I said Bitcoin, so hopefully the algorithm will give me lots of views here. But yeah, so I mean, if you get into that kind of stuff, well, it's down there. They just, from all the videos I've seen on YouTube and everything, that they just treat it like money. That apparently there's this thing called Apple Pay. I don't have an iPhone. I got the cheapo Android. But so like there's people use like Apple Pay. I see them scanning and tapping and stuff. I have no idea how that works. But I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna spend some Bitcoin down there. And apparently it's a really very handy for people down there, because apparently the banking system is just very inefficient down there. And then so I was kind of worried about, I don't know if like will I be able to take my Visa credit card or my bank card? Will it work in the ATMs? I haven't quite figured that one out, like what network they're on and stuff. because or depending on where you are, the city seems to be a little bit more high tech. They have like, Pizza Hut and McDonald's and all that other good American junk food there. And I've been listening to the radio station there in San Salvador too. So they have Lethal Caesars pizza. So there we go. They got Little Caesars pizza, I heard. And but I don't know. I'll check out the local food. But apparently they just it's becoming more and more that they just pay on their phones with Bitcoin. So I've found I don't know, a few different YouTube sites I'm kind of checking out and things like that. And you can just go down and get some Bitcoin at your local Bitcoin ATM, and like it's a lot of figuring stuff out. So, but I figured I'd show you. There's apparently the I was googling around and I wanted to find out what. Come on, turn on phone. Yeah, I don't even know how to turn the thing on hardly. Okay, so what? I'll hit my button. I did get an attractive. My girlfriend bought me this attractive black case so that it doesn't break on me. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, I'll put in the old pin. Okay, so apparently the wallet that they use down there, there's all these different like apps and wallets and things, and then there's some that are more scammy than others, and like it's I don't know, you can go down. It takes a, but from what I've heard down there, there's this place called Bitcoin Beach, El Sante. It's this kind of a surfer hangout, and they actually developed a specific Bitcoin wallet for El Salvador there, and they got renamed into the Blink wallet. It used to be the Bitcoin Beach wallet. So this is what it looks like. I'll fire it up. And it looks like that. So there's a little Blink wallet, and apparently it is not available to download in the United States or for Apple. It only works with cheapo Android, but everyone has cheapo Android down there. And I blanked out how much money I have in here, but that's what it looks like. You can kind of send and receive. I don't know if you can see that. Send and receive, and it like up here, it would normally say how much Bitcoin or US dollars you have there, or whatever currency you want. And then, but I just have it blanked out because yeah, that's why. But this other one, it's got this cool feature on it that's got like a map, so that kind of gets into my and I think this is the only Bitcoin wallet that has it, but apparently this is the one that they use down in El Salvador. Oh, hey, Dustin. Yeah, so here we go. There's a bunch of these little pins on there. It's kind of associated with the Google Map, and those are all the places that take that have this Blink wallet. So any of the stores I go to or vendors, like there's like ladies selling fruits in the market and stuff like that, and they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take some of that." So I figure if I'm low on cash, maybe I can pay on my phone with some Bitcoin. So let's do this. And then there's this little town. Apparently, the main places where they take that stuff is Bitcoin Beach, El Sante, this little surfer community. In the capital, San Salvador, they take it a lot. I've seen lots of little pins. This other cool town, which I'll kind of be checking out too, called Berlin, but it's not Berlin, Germany. It's Berlin, El Salvador. Apparently, some German guy moved there and he liked the name. So this is this little town in El Salvador, and there's like all these places that take Bitcoin using this little wallet. So I should be able to get something down there, get some food or buy beer or something. And then I saw this other post on Twitter, Ferreteria Mendez. It's a hardware store. Maybe I'll buy some paint. Anyways, but yeah, there's all these little pins here, and you can check out. Hey, what's this one here? What's this one say? It says Activaciones Don Julito. And then you can just, if I hit pay this business, there's an address there, and I would send them money right here from Canada down there, but I'm not going to. I'll do it in person. I don't even know what that means. So that's another thing about learning is that I don't know how to speak Spanish, but I've been doing like more research, right? You got to learn as you get older, and it's like, so I found Duolingo. A lot of people use that to learn how to speak other languages. And I guess Babbel is there too, but I don't know. My girlfriend started using Duolingo, so I'm like, what the heck? I try it, and it's got. I like the interface. It's kind of like almost like a video game and stuff. You get something right, like the man eats apples. El hombre como manzanas, and it goes ding, or you kind of click around on it or you type it in or something. And so I've been kind of learning a little bit of Spanish and then learning a little bit of Blink Wallet, Bit- Bitcoin stuff. and then I got WhatsApp on here. Maybe I'll call somebody on it one day. I got the what is it? I was experimenting on here with the X app, the Twitter app, so seeing if I could go live. And then I got my little, so like all this weird tech, you become a YouTuber and take a vacation, and the next thing you know, it's like I'm going starting school all over again or something. But I got this, I can plug it right into here, and then I should be able to stream live on YouTube. I did that already, and on the X, on the Twitter. There we go. And I figured this would be a good little setup rather than I'll bring my laptop down there too. But so anyways, I got this, I'm getting all high tech and stuff and moving into the 21st century. So we'll just close that out. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Let's go. Let's see how many places take Bitcoin on Bitcoin Beach. Where are we here? Ooh, I've kind of gotten used to the zooming in and zooming out stuff, which is pretty good for like an old man like myself. So here's some other stuff. Okay, I'll show you on the map. So this is San Salvador, and there's like a whole bunch of dots there. That's the big one. And there's a whole bunch of little pins down here. La Libertad. Okay, here we go, El Sonte. So this is a tiny, tiny little community. And they got all these people that take this specific wallet, and you can pay them stuff. And see what's it got here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch there. So like I think the what's this one here? I'm just gonna randomly hit one. There we go. Awilda. I don't know what that means in Spanish. What's another one? Okay, I don't know what that means. What do we got here? Hey, here we go. Now this is cool too. That is Pupuseria Easy. Jesse, maybe that's someone's name. Pupuseria. Yeah, so apparently in El Salvador, that's their main thing. If you see a pupuseria, actually, it almost sounds kind of Italian. Hey, it's a pupuseria, but it's like Spanish, and that's I had we got an El Salvadoran restaurant in town here, so I had my first pupusa down there, and it's kind of like it's like a sort of a pancake type thing, but it's got cheese and meat. And they put different stuff in there. It's very cheesy and very hot, but it's not like sweet like a pancake or anything. It's kind of a weird little like it tastes good. And then we had some extras. I microwaved it the next day. It was still good the next day too. So apparently that is something you can eat, and they're really cheap. Apparently, they're like, hey, you want this pupusa? It's like $1 or something. So. Oh, there we go. Mona Moore is saying superpilotish es muy interesante. Superpilotish is very interesting. Cool. Thank you, Mona Moore. And yeah, so this is I've been kind of fooling around looking at this and all that. So hopefully it won't get lost. I got a map and I got money on my phone in the form of 21st century Bitcoin money. There we go. I said Bitcoin again, so maybe it'll pick it up in the algorithm. And that'll be interesting to see, like, how do people live on their phone there? And the thing is, like, I was looking into their wire, what do you call it? If you got data on your phone and stuff like that, it's way cheaper than here in Canada. It's better, and apparently the coverage is good. So it's kind of like they went from kind of third world developing country to, oh yeah, we got to sell infrastructure. It's like, okay, they kind of skipped out all the landline stuff and just went straight high tech. Wi-Fi, there's Wi-Fi in the airport apparently. Like, it's, I don't know. We'll check it out. I'll fill you in as we go along. So, so here we go. I'll just see if there's any little questions here, and questions, comments. There we go. Wrench's wallet is black leather. I will also be bringing my black leather wallet too. That will have the US dollars in it. Okay, so there we go. And yeah, what else we got here? Oh, here we go. Wrench hates carrying coins in his wallet. So that's the one thing, like, that you don't have to worry with any changes, like paying with a credit card if you're paying with your phone. Uh, okay, Dustin, welcome to the show, Dustin. I would really like to go to visit those German communities down there. I bet they have very interesting stories to tell about how they got there. Yeah, apparently, like I do speak a little bit of German, and no one speaks German there anymore. It's just some German guy showed up and started the town. That little town is in. Apparently, they grow a lot of coffee around there. It's kind of like Juan Valdez hanging out in the coffee fields up in the mountains on the side of a volcano. Actually, hope I don't get blown up. Um, yeah, so it was. What was I going to say? Oh, the German communities. There are a bunch of German communities I know in like around here, a little bit out of town here. There's some Mennonites, and they kind of have the Mennonites. They kind of travel back and forth between around here, a little bit further up the road, and kind of a more German community up there. But a lot of them, they have family down in Mexico and Bolivia. Apparently, there's a lot of German Mennonites speaking. Well, actually, they don't really speak German anymore. They speak their kind of like a really old dialect of German. I would call them kind of Germanic. I pick up a few German words in there when they're speaking, but it's kind of a really ancient German they speak. But they look like Germans. So, okay, here we go. Here's a good question. How do you prevent getting your wallet cleaned out? When they have your secret numbers. I sound like a boomer now. Yeah, that's another thing you can get into is how to keep your all your Bitcoin secure and stuff like that. The wallet that I just showed you is extremely insecure. So I'm kind of considering, like, I mean, it's what they call a hot wallet. I could secure it with a pin. Actually, I probably should, but yeah, you can put a pin on there so it won't open up. And then on the back end of it, it's basically it's that particular one. You got to trust that they're not going to steal your money, but it seems pretty. That's why you don't put too much on it. And then it's what they call a hot wallet. And yeah, so it's a can it get stolen? Absolutely. Put my full trust in that little Blink wallet, but I'm not keeping a whole lot of money. There's other wallets you can get to where you have a little bit more control, where it's not gonna you're not trusting someone else. You kind of it's a little bit more backed up, put it that way. But that one there is like very user friendly, and so that the sacrifice is if the developers there did want to steal my money, they absolutely could, and I'm willing to take that risk. So, and I'm not keeping much money in there. So, anyways, like you kind of consider that as if you got your wallet, and then so it's like if I lose this, I lose the money in my wallet. It can happen, so that you kind of do that, you lose your phone, but that can get backed up because you haven't like if you get a new phone, you can kind of uh, get the same phone number and you can still get the wallet back. So it's yeah, you get into this Bitcoin stuff and cryptocurrency doodad jazz. It's like, man, you can watch hours and hours and hours of videos I have, and to figure out how all this stuff works, and then you got to kind of use it and stuff. So I mean, I've been sending my little bits back and forth with my girlfriend to say, how do you do this? And like, oh, how does this wallet work? Like, so it's yeah, it's so that's one of the things I'm learning. I'm old and I'm learning here. So there we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Dustin, he's got to set me up some Bitcoin. You're ahead of me. Yeah, well, I mean, that's and El Salvador is ahead of every country in the world that makes it like it's actually legal. Like if you wanted to there, you could pay your taxes in Bitcoin. I was looking there too to get into the country. I want to try it too. Is to get into the country, it's like some kind of visa you got to pay for. It's like a $12 tourist visa, and apparently you can just use your phone and pay with Bitcoin, and that's like a government service that just takes Bitcoin. So because it's legal tender, it's just like having the U.S. dollar, or if you're in the States, or Canadian dollar if I'm in Canada. So it's pretty weird. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so there we go. We got lots of little interesting stuff on here, and there we go. Okay, so that's about it for the show. I really had nothing. I got nothing here to talk about. But yeah, I heard the thing about, I don't know. It's just like you go to take a vacation and like you just start hunting around on the computer, and it's like, oh, what about this? And I'm glad I kind of planned this a little bit in advance so that I can get ready and I can hablo españolio. Yeah, buenos dias, buenas tardes, all that fun stuff. And yo quiero Taco Bell. So, anyways, I don't know if they have Taco Bell down there. They probably think, oh, this stuff tastes like garbage. But anyways, yeah, I forget how you say goodbye. Hasta la vista. It'd be like that. I think that means till I see you next. So, okay. Well, what do we got here? Okay, one more little question here. Do you Google the N number of your airliner? You could. What is that? Yeah, I kind of do that all the time. If I see an airplane that's like it's got a registration, it's like, okay, there we go. And then yeah. Okay, so that's about it for today. I said Bitcoin a few times and cryptocurrency. So we'll see if it like gets see if that bumps up the algorithm and I get like millions of views and I get monetized and get filthy rich. Who knows? Probably not. Okay. Here we go. We got hasta luego, los friends. Cuidado. Okay, sounds good to me. And yeah, so I'll be back hopefully with like some kind of actual topic next. What is it? Today's Wednesday, Friday. I will be back on Friday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And yeah, we'll just kind of shut her down. And hasta luego. Okay, bye.